Good Thursday morning in the city of Lagos, Southwest Nigeria. My name is Damlola Ogunshakin. Let's go straight to the front pages of the dailies, and I'm starting with Vanguard. Vanguard is leading with foreign debt to top $51 billion as Tinubu seeks fresh $7.8 billion, 100 million euro loans. Total public debt to hit 130 trillion naira, trade organizations and economy experts. Stories above on page 19. Forex turnover rises 23% at NAFEM as exchange rate stabilizes. On page 4, wage award 40% salary increase. Federal government dashes hope of workers can't pay MDAs. Fubara, we stand with Wike, that's coming from Rivers Elders. No one can take away our political structure. More legal controversy looms over FBN holdings and rights issues. You can see that on page 4 of Vanguard newspaper. Now the Guardian is leading with a red flag on domestic borrowings as Tinubu considers 30 trillion naira fresh loans. Court restrains Rivers Assembly CJ from impeaching governor. Tinubu vows to sack non-performing ministers, seek approval to borrow $7.86 billion and 100 million euros. You can see that on page 3. Bricklayer bags life imprisonment for defiling 13-year-old girl. Lastly, on the Guardian newspaper, another governor bows to conscience, shuns ex-governor's monthly pension. Now, the Nation, it's leading with perform or get sacked. President warns ministers. There's a statement here. It says you are going to sign a bond of understanding. If you are performing, nothing to fear. If you miss the objective, we'll review. If there's no performance, you leave us. You can see that on page 4. Still on page 4, stock market 70,000 points set new record. NGX is a boost for economic stability. Rifts with Wike over soon, says Fubara. Stories above the nameplate. Dust over rec nominees substitution in Senate. Lastly, on the Nation, by Helsa, IMO Kogi 2023. Elections won't hold in 40 polling units. Kogi Central, no-go area. Diri Silva calms clash over allegations of violence, Togri. Re-elect Uzodima, First Lady urges IMO women. You can see that on page 26. And lastly, let's look at the Punch. Punch is leading with court stops Fubara's remover. PDP governors consult Wike. Nobody can intimidate me. Impeachment not a coup. FCT minister insists. Crisis will be resolved, says Fubara. PDP governors plan Port Harcourt meeting. You can see that on page 14. And here there are 3 pictures with the rider that says traders lament as fire destroys 300 shops in Lagos market. You can see that on pages 4 and 5. Reps probe 200 billion naira spent on postponed centers. My daughter's boyfriend blackmailed her to commit suicide in United Kingdom. You can see that on page 3. And lastly, on the front page of the Punch newspaper, right above the nameplate, crude shortage delays Dangote refinery, 5 others take off. Lack of supply to Dangote, shameful, says the federal government. Minister blames low production. You can see that on pages 2 and 21 of the Punch newspaper. Now let's go on a short break, and our guests will be analyzing the front pages of the dailies when we come back. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Today in the News on Vanguard Live. My name is Damlola Ogunshakin. Joining us to analyze the front pages of the dailies this morning is Mr. Oludare Mayowa. He's the publisher of Global Financial Digest. Good morning, Mr. Mayowa.
Good morning, Damlola. Nice to be here today.
Yes, let's move straight to the front pages of the dailies. Now we're starting with Imo State. So one person was feared killed and many others injured yesterday as the president of Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC, Joe Ajaero, was abducted by security agents at the ongoing organized labor protest in Owerri, the Imo State capital. What do you think about?
Thank you very much. First of all, very disheartening news from Imo State. Right or strike or protest is under democracy's guarantee, and people should be able to express their feelings against government position, against government policies, if they are not if they're not in consonance with it. And I think that's what the labor union have done in the state. Or turning the gun or turning the forces that the police force, the state agents against the labor is for me it's undemocratic and it's not acceptable to people. He says that even brutalizing the president Ajero is like going too far by the whoever ordered that attack. And while it police to recognize and to maintain order around the country, it is right for them to prevent chaos and threat to security while such activities are going place. But it is not in order for them to utilize, because it could be there are so many meaning to be related to that. If you are attacking the labor union leader, then many meaning could be related to that, and it's not good for the state government. It's not good for the federal government. Considering both the state governor, the state governors, and the federal the president belong to the same party. And because the election is nearer and people are speculating that they have to crush whatever opposition that can deter them from winning the election. And these are how far they are going in doing that. For me, I say a condemnable act, and the police should apologize, and the officers in charge should be reprimanded for doing such things. It's not acceptable in the democracy sector. People should be allowed to vent their anger, vent without going to violence, and express their point of view in the democracy setting. That's it's granted under the law. So I think what they have done is all right. In IMO State, for example, I follow the trend there. There have been some disagreement or cacophony or report about the payment. Some people are saying that the government is paying regularly. And the workers say they are not paying. But I can say that if the workers are being paid regularly, they won't embark on strike. They won't join labor in the protest. And it's unfortunate that at this since June this year till now, state government have been receiving more revenue allocation from the federal government account, provincial account, and yet they are not able to meet their worker salary. You can imagine what we are going through: inflation shooting over the roof, and things are costly like the standard of living is deteriorating daily, and yet people cannot get their even the lipstick 10,000 minimum wage. You cannot get it as a 20 due. Some people want them to survive, and they want them to work, to be committed to this work. We want them not to be corrupted. We want to eliminate corruption in the system. Yet, salaries are not being paid. And yet, these same government are living in a luxury life. They are buying new cars. We heard that the president wants to buy a new yacht for his own enjoyment. Yet, we are saying people should tighten their belt. Yet, you are not tightening your belt. The political office holders are spending money as if Nigeria is on broke. This is very wrong, and the people should rise up. People should begin to raise issue on this and take the governors to task. Why they are receiving so much money in allocations, in revenue from the federal and the internally generated revenue, yet they are not to meet the obligation. What are they doing with the money of the state then? People should be taking them to task and even go to the extent of taking them to court on this particular issue. Continue to take the right step in bringing this state to respect the law. Then we continue to express this thing across the nation of the world. Across the states in Nigeria.
Okay, what happened yesterday where a team of armed policemen and hooded men in trucks stormed up, the venue of the protest and, started beating the people there. Do you think people can support the idea of state police?
Yeah, the state police, I keep hearing this argument because the governor will misuse the state police. Yeah, that they are valid expression, they are valid opinion. But on the other hand, we are operating a democratic system of government, and which in other climes, it's not even state police, it's local government police, county police. In America, we have county police, and they work in tandem, they work together, and there has not been a breach. No county, whatever I say, mayor, whoever violate the right of the people. And the right of the people is enshrined in the law. Ultimately, to test the law, we don't know how it will work. If this does not stop state police, for example. I think Nigeria should be to take their rights, be to be to enforce their right against this empire we have in the state, and be to put them where they belong. Be to test our law in the law court. Be to go all the org to enforce our rights. Until we begin to do that, nothing will work in this country. Why? Okay, for example, you have a state police now. It's the federal police, and yet they able to use to oppress the people. That means a party in power could actually use that police to violate the rights of the people. But what I'm saying is that until people are challenge these people, take these police to the policemen who are directly involved in the attack to court and charge them, and to shoot this from the EPO to the ACP to the state commissioner to the IGP. Until we take them and need to pay dearly for this, then they will not be properly.
Let's talk about the reaction of the policeman to the accusation, because Ajaero was reportedly picked up by heavily armed policemen and denying the arrest. The police command in Imo said that the NLC president was taken into protective custody, in order to avoid him being beaten by the mob who stormed the venue yesterday. Now the question is, yes, they took in the NLC president, but what happened?
It's unfortunate that police are known for not doing the right thing. You take the Labour president into protective custody. What happened with the mob, the crowd, the political thugs that was unleashed on the Labour? Those thugs are not just on their own. They are sponsored by some people. They are sponsored again to dismantle the protest. And why can't the police do something about those thugs, those political thugs who are unleashed on people who are merely expressing their opposition to what is going on in the state? And why is it that you have to take Ajaero to protective custody, yet he was brutalized, he's battling with his eye in the hospital? I think the explanation of the police does not get, and it's typical of the police to side with the oppressor of the people. But how many of the thought out who unleashed terror on the people there have been arrested up to date? I don't need to account for that, what happened there. If they cannot protect people who are lawfully protesting, then the police have no place in our system.
Let's move to Rivers State. So the Rivers State High Court, sitting in the Rivers yesterday on Wednesday, issued an interim order restraining the Rivers State House of Assembly from proceeding with the planned impeachment of Governor Fubara. Meanwhile, in a PDP meeting in Abuja on Wednesday, Minister Wike justified the impeachment plot against Fubara as constitutional, and he also warned Fubara against any alliance with his political enemies to undermine him. What do you think about what is happening in Rivers State?
Unfortunately, our democracy has gone over 27 years now, and we are not mature in a way that the people determines who wins election in this country. Until we get to that point where your vote, my vote counts, we continue to experience all this godfatherism, the clash between the godson and godfather. That's exactly what we see, because UK actually is acting as president who put the governor of the Rivers into the place. And he was the guy that himself that actually contested the election. Was, of course, you can see what played out during, before and during the election, after the election. It was a situation where the outgoing governor imposed a candidate on the people. And the people have no choice in this election. Whether you vote or you don't vote, your vote did not count. It was established that the Rivers State election was massively manipulated. That's been proven all over again. So if UK is now saying, look, I put you there, you have to do my will, then the governor has no choice to do the wicked will, because the governor is not accountable to the people. Ordinarily, under democracy, the governor is supposed to be accountable to the people who voted into power, but it has been proven that the people that did not vote, it was not voted to power by the people, by the vote of the masses of Rivers State. And it's God Master who had to take the paper this time now. So that was happened there. And it will not go well for our democracy. That's what we are talking about. Nigeria needs structuring in such a manner that our electoral system has to be reformed. That the people we have who become the governor, who become our president, who become our senators, who become our House of Rep, who become our councillor, who become our House of Assembly member, until we get to that point of our life, the Godfather's reign will continue prevail in this city. And as you are saying, he's winning the government because he knew that the government does not have the capacity to win the election. It was one that imposed him on the people. So if the people allow such thing to happen, then